Welcome, ladies. And we know we also have some gentlemen here on the Hangout with us. We're so excited to have you joining us here at the Women and Women's Network today. And we're excited to share with you the blueprint for success for 2015. At this time, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get started. And what I'm going to do first is I'm going to show you a slide for Blueprint for Success. And with this slide, we're going to do a little bit something different this year. Keisha and I had a conversation, so we want to really provide a lot of value to you. Hold on a second. Okay, I'm sorry about that. Let me share my screen. Okay, hopefully you all can see my screen. Jen, somebody, can you come out and just let me know that you can see my screen? Okay, let me go back over here.
We can see it, Rachel.
We see it.
Okay, awesome. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, so today what we're going to do is we're going to give you the nuggets that you need in order to succeed in 2015. We want this year to be a phenomenal year for you. We want you on the leaderboards. We want you to do some of the things that you desire to do. And, you know, to each person, the word success means different things. So we want you to obtain that. That's our goal for you on this Hangout today. Before we get started, just want to go ahead and share with you what you'll be learning. Today we're going to teach you how to crush it, your vision in 2015, how to set SMART goals, how, you know, different productivity tips, things that will help you to be more productive in your business and in life, a daily routine blueprint to follow, some bonuses, and the next action step for you to take, and who we are and why you want to listen to us. We are the Winning Women's Network, and first of all, we just want to edify and thank Keisha Bass for giving us the opportunity to be on this platform, to be able to share with you all, and thank her for actually having this dream and this vision to make this possible for each one of us, want to see ladies go further, to want or to have more than what maybe you've had. And then I'm going to go ahead and introduce the ladies on the panel. It is my honor and pleasure to introduce each one of them to you. And what I'm going to do is, based on the name order, ask them to come out, share their story with us, and why you want to listen to them. Jen, you want to come out first, please?
Sure, Rachel. Thank you so much for having me tonight. It's a real honor to be here. I'm excited to be sharing with everyone tonight, and honestly just helping other people glean the knowledge that will assist them in taking their business to the next level this year. So a little bit about me. I'm an entrepreneur. I work from home, and I'm also a stay-at-home mom and wife, and I've been really enjoying being able to be here with my son. He's 2 years old now. I got started with DSD about a year and 2 months ago now, so 14 months ago, and from the first day when I had my first eBay sale, it's been nothing but just amazing things since then. You know, sometimes life feels like a struggle, and you think, can I ever get a break? And then you come along and you finally find something that works. And when you do that, it's important to just stay there and keep it working. You know, sometimes it doesn't mean that life is all rainbows and roses all the time. I mean, certainly there were challenges in the business, and there still are, but there is an important thing to recognize when you can create confidence in yourself that you can get through whatever comes up. I think a lot of people will look at something and they'll look down the road and say, well, I don't know how I would handle that issue, right? Well, you don't have to handle that issue today. You just need to start on the path and do what's in front of you today to create an income, right? So taking the steps today that are important, because let's say something does come up down the road, you're going to have more information, you're going to have more experience, you're going to have more confidence, and you're going to be able to deal with whatever it is that comes up. One way or another, you're going to be able to deal with it. So I think it's really important for people who are getting their business going this year to recognize that you don't have to have all the answers right now. You just have to put one foot in front of another and be persistent and consistent day after day, and that is what is going to build your business. Showing up in your business every day. Every day I show up in my business in one way or another. Maybe I don't get everything that I wanted to accomplish, but every day I'm doing something to move the vision forward. So what else can I share with you, Rachel?
Actually, Jen, that's perfect. Just wanted, them to hear your story and why they should listen to you. Because sometimes, when someone is sharing with us tips and nuggets, we want to know, how can this person help me? Have they had the success? Should I listen to them? So I think you definitely have proven that we should listen to you. So I'm just looking forward to the nuggets that you're going to share along the way on our hangout and our presentation tonight. So I'll come back to you in a little bit, and you can give us your suggestions and tips on some of the things that we're going to cover. Angie, you want to come out, please? Thank you, Jen.
Absolutely. Hi, guys. How's everybody doing tonight? I'm really excited to be on this panel with all these ladies. We talk about all of the experiences that we've had as we have joined DSD and this team, and these women in the Winning Women Network, and it's been a godsend for me. I joined about a year ago, not quite. In a couple weeks, it'll be about a year. And like Jen, I had my first sale very, very quickly. I posted some items, and I got a sale within 48 hours. And so, while all of the results that you guys see will vary, they won't be exactly as we have them. You may have it quicker, or you may have it later, but we're all on this panel seeing results from the work that we're putting in the simple training system that we've been a part of. But for me, a bigger piece of this is the connection that I've made with these women on this panel and so many other women and men in our Unit of Prosperity team. The value that each of us bring to the team and how we can help each other and help motivate each other and keep people moving. When one of us is struggling with something, someone else's strength is that struggle. So for my struggle might be a strength of Jen's, and so we're able to help each other in that way, and it's just a very unique situation. I've never experienced that before online, especially when we're online. It can seem distant and it can seem difficult to build relationships, but we're such a close-knit group of women and group of people in the Unit of Prosperity. It's just been life-changing. I completely agree with what Jen said as far as taking one step at a time and taking consistent daily action. And absolutely, you do not have to know everything to move forward. So I completely agree with that, because there are resources here on this team in people and in products that will help us get the knowledge that we need as long as we are taking our individual daily actions. So, I really, for this year, 2015, I'm really going to go into focus. I'm going to talk about how I can focus, as well as how I can help others focus on what it is that their purpose is, so that they can serve people in their community, around them, online, whatever that purpose is for them, how to focus and streamline, kind of like a laser. If you are focused enough, you will get the results that you need. I've got some resources that I'll talk about in a little bit for you guys to take a look at, to kind of help clarify where your focus should be and how you take actions to remain focused throughout the year. So I'm just really excited to be here.
Thank you very much, Angie. I appreciate you, and looking forward to hearing your tips and your suggestions for individuals being able to crush it in 2015. At this time, we're going to ask Becky if she would come out for us.
Hi, Rachel. Can you hear me?
Yes, Becky, I can hear you. Thank you.
Awesome, thank you. I'm super excited to be on here tonight and to share with everyone my journey with DS Domination. You see, in 8 days, it will be 1 year since I've joined DS Domination, and I was on a hangout probably just like this, looking at these people and saying, oh my gosh, they're crazy. You know, I'd only been in the business for 1 week, and they were saying all these things and making income claims. And I'm not a network marketer. I'm a scientist. I have a husband and 2 boys. I know nothing about working online. I actually started DS Domination because I was playing Candy Crush, and I could not beat that game, and I was spending way too much time. And it was January, and we also needed tax write-offs, and we had none because I did not have a home-based business the prior year. So last January, I decided that I was going to join something to get some tax write-offs. Well, little did I know that it would be DS Domination, and I found it from someone on Facebook. I didn't know her. I just probably saw posts, probably like you've been seeing, and you know, these outlandish income claims and screenshots, and I was like, well, I'm just going to see what it is. Well, I have an MBA, and when I first watched Roger's video, immediately a light bulb went off, and I said, this is a brilliant business model. And of course, I'm a risk taker, so I was ready to jump in right away, which I did. I didn't ask my husband or anything. And then when he came home, I showed it to him, and he's a skeptic. And when he first saw it, he was like, Becky, this is brilliant. And so I knew that if I had Bud on my side, that I could do this business. So I started. The first product that I listed was a bidet, and Bud said, Becky, who's going to buy a bidet? I said, I don't know. I just followed the training, and this is what Roger showed me how to find. And so if I can list a bidet and sell it in 2 days, and Bud can list his first item and sell it in 15 minutes, then I know that you can do this business. And so fast forward a little about my journey. I do work full time, and I'm the boss there. So, you know, people watch people, so I knew they were watching me. And so I would tell them all the time, you know, hey, I'm doing this business. And they would say, oh my gosh, Becky, how many businesses are you going to do? Which this was only my 3rd, but I had failed. Well, I did well, but I had failed in my other ones. And so this time they were like, oh God, you know, kind of chasing pie in the sky. And I was like, okay. So now I just smile at them, because in 1 year I have earned, income disclaimer here, your results may vary, but I have earned a little over $100,000 in profit. I had $400,000 in sales, and that was just from selling products, not telling a single soul. Now, as far as when I first started, and you can go out and look on YouTube, I was all about telling people about this business because I love people, and I feel that I'm a people specialist. In my very first week in DS Domination, I'm also a Toastmaster, and I was given a speech, and I was practicing accepting an award. So I had 10 little boys in my living room, and they were videotaping me accepting an award for being the person that had the most affiliates in DS Domination. Well, little did I know, in May, when we had our first conference, I was on stage. I was not accepting an award for the most affiliates, but I was telling my story, how one product had sold $35,000 worth of sales. Now, that one product, since I found it on Easter, that's when I actually found it, has sold $350,000 in sales. So guys, it only takes one product. I know everybody wants to know what's in my little bottle, and it's just cash. That's what I tell everyone. It's just so, you know, people say, well, why should you listen to me? I'm just average like you are. I have no internet marketing experience, but I followed the training, and I listen to these ladies that are on here, and also the leadership that we have in the Unit of Prosperity. And, you know, in Roger's initial video that you saw, he was dancing with his daughter at Disney World. And so in 2 weeks, I'm going to take, our family is going on a Disney cruise for 7 days. So I'll take some pictures, and you'll see me dancing with my sons.
Awesome, awesome. That is a beautiful, beautiful story, Becky. So we already have a proof already that why you should listen to us. And what I want to do is, because I definitely don't want to leave Deidre and Lakeisha out, but I'm going to ask them to give us a short version because I want to provide the value of what, we want to give you some tips we really, really, really want to impart into you this year, things that are going to help you move to the next place in your life and in your business. So what I'm doing is I'm going to ask, and I know this is going to be hard for you all because we're all talkers, but if you could give us a short version of your story so we can make sure that everyone gets all the nuggets that we have for them. Deidre, you want to come out, please?
I don't know how I can get out. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, good.
Uh-huh.
Well, I'll make it really, really short. And it is that I am Deidre Jones, the unit. I'm so glad to be here. It's 2015, and it's been 15 months since I came into DS Domination. I'm a divorced single mom of 3 teenage boys, and I'm so glad that I can say that I'm never, ever, ever, and I can say never, ever, ever going back to corporate America, because when you start a business like this, you have headaches on your plate. And just as Jen said, you may not have all the answers, but you do know what you don't want to do, and you also know where you want to go. You have an idea of moving forward. So for me, I'll say, when you have a business and you have a community like we have in the Unit of Prosperity and DS Domination, when people cut the fool and say things to you and you get into precarious situations that are very difficult, you can say no to people and smile and be so nice because you're not stressed out, because you have money that you've made and you've made it on your own terms. You've made it at your house without your shoes on, in the rain and the snow and the sleet. You don't have to leave your house. So when you have challenging situations, you can actually be more of a shock absorber and be sincere and genuine with the peace that you have, because you know that it's only a matter of your effort the next day that you're going to have the results. So as a divorced mother with 3 sons that I've been raising for 13 years, I'm so proud and happy to be a part of this organization. It is stress-free, and you can check headaches off your list every day, because most of the things that come up in our everyday lives, it's all tied to money, whether it's lunch money, car repairs, dental work, nails done, hair, whatever it is that you need, you have, the provision is already made in this business. So for me, I can take a whole bunch of garbage right now because I'm so at peace that people cannot disturb my peace simply because of this company. So all year long, instead of I can take on more, but you know what? It's what I want to be doing. I call it my occupation. So I can take headaches and stress, things that would be stressful. I can check it off my list now because of this business. I'm here to stay. I love it. It allows you to be a single parent if you have to be without any assistance. You have assistance. You have a whole community in this business. So just put one foot in front of the other, as Jen and Angie, we all know. Do one thing at a time, frame by frame. And you follow what is being shown to you, and you can't help but have results. That's what DS Domination has done for me.
Thank you very much, Deidre. We appreciate you sharing your story, and looking forward to hear the nuggets and tips that you're going to be sharing with us also. Now, last but definitely not least, I would like to ask Lakeisha to come out and share with us why we should listen to her.
All right, Rachel, can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you fine. Thank you.
Great. I am so excited to be on the panel with you all tonight. And just, a little bit about me. My name is Lakeisha Hankins, as she mentioned. I am a busy mom of 4 girls and, wife as well. And I also work full-time. I joined DSD back in October of last year. And at that time, I really was not looking for anything that looked like network marketing, because I had been in the industry since 2008, and I had struggled online. And I've probably done maybe over 7 different businesses. So I was done with the whole recruiting and having products coming to this house daily, and my husband looking at me like I was crazy. So my sponsor, which is Keisha Bass, I saw her posting this opportunity and sharing it, and it was all about eBay, and I had done eBay before, so I wanted to look more into this opportunity because I was looking for something at that time to fund my coaching business, and DSD was just perfect for that because I didn't have to recruit, so I could just make money online, and and that was pretty much it. There wasn't all this huge overhead or anything, and it was just simply copying and pasting. I made my first sale within 48 hours, and then after that, I realized, that we were, what we have here, the business module, simply works, and there were so many others out there struggling to make money online. So I decided to share this opportunities with so many others. And because of that, me helping others, I've been able to make, some of my dreams a reality, being able to pay off some debt. My family and I just got back on Tuesday. We went to the Bahamas on the cruise for Christmas. So it's just been so exciting, what this opportunity has allowed just by simply just, joining the business and following the system, following what the mentors say, and, things of that sort. So if you have no experience or anything like that, this opportunity definitely works. And, I'm just looking forward to what 2015 has to offer and sharing tonight, what has worked for me.
Thank you very much, Lakeisha. I appreciate you sharing your story and looking forward to the nuggets that you're going to share also in order to help people to be successful in 2015. A little bit about my story is I started back in DS in October of 2013. It was a very challenging year for me, but because of the fact of the success tips that I've learned down through the years, it has helped me to stay in the game. And in the midst of whatever's happened, still be able to make money, still be able to succeed online. And so now what we're going to do is go ahead and share some tips with you to help you to stay in the game and have the best year that you've ever had. So I'm going to go ahead and go back over to my slide presentation, and hopefully you all can see it. If somebody just let me know that you can see, I cannot see if you type something. You can?
We're good.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so one of the things that you want to do when you are setting your blueprint for success is you want to reflect back over the year that you just came through. So you just came through 2014, and there are 3 powerful questions that I want you to write down. So if you don't have a pen and a piece of paper, I'm going to encourage you to grab a pen and piece of paper so that you can write down these questions, because they're going to help you to propel you forward to the next season and level in your life. The first question is, what worked well in 2014, and how can I maximize those things and move forward? So what I want you to do is look at 2014 and figure out everything that worked well for you. And whatever that is, I want you to do more of it. The second question is, what did not work in 2014, and how can I avoid repeating them? So, what is it that you were doing in 2014 that was wasting a lot of your time, that was not helping you get to where you want to go? I want you to write those things down, and I want you to cross them off, because no longer will you spend your time doing those things because they do not serve you. The third one is, what new challenges am I going to take on in the coming year? You may have goals, you may have dreams, but sometimes you don't write them down because you don't think you're going to accomplish them. But today we're going to equip you with the things that you need so that you can take on these challenges and achieve what you desire in your business and in life. Okay, so let's talk about creating a crush it vision in 2015. And I know I have a lot of writing here. Typically, this slide wouldn't look like this, but I just did not want to forget a nugget. One of the things I've learned in setting goals is that it's really important that you begin with the end in mind. And you'll hear a lot of successful individuals say this, like Jack Canfield, the person who wrote Habits of Highly Effective People. I forget his name right now. Stephen Covey. Different individuals like that have written books, and what it says is begin with the end in mind. So you got to look into the future of what you want. What is it that you want out of your life? Do you want to make 100,000? Do you want to be like Becky? You want to, have 400,000 in sales? Do you want to be a coach? What is it that you want? Because that is not until you identify what you want that you will get it. So it's really, really important that you get really, really clear on what you want. Something else that I've learned is it's important that you ask yourself several questions to help you get there. And this part is for those of you that will say, I don't know what I want. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know how to create a vision. I don't know where to start. So I'm going to give you some questions that I want you to write down. Where do you want to live? Who are your friends, or who do you want to be your friends? What are your hobbies? Are you doing the hobbies that you love? What personally fulfills you? What relationships do you want? Is it with your spouse? And what do you want out of that relationship? Describe that relationship. Is it with your children? What actually do you want? Because it's not until then that you'll be able to create the vision that you wanted. And as far as business questions are concerned, how many hours do you want to work a day? What time will you start and what time will you finish? What hour of the day will you work? There's like and we'll talk about this a little later, but you know, you can segment out your day, and you can put a certain time of the day that you will work. What do you do? You know, what is it that you do? Are you a, you know, e-commerce coach, or do you just, you know, just sell online? Are you a salesperson? What do you do? Who are your clients? What are they like? What about your team? What are they like? You know, what is it that they do that makes you feel good? You know, and your last question is your work that makes you proud. What is it that you're doing that makes you proud? Now, these are some questions that I really highly recommend that you write down and answer them. Don't just, you know, don't just like, okay, Rachel, I'm taking the notes. No, after this hangout, I want you to go back, pull out these notes, and fill in the blanks, because once you fill in the blanks, you're going to get a lot more clear on your vision in life and what you want. So now, why goals and why goals and whys are not enough? You hear people will say, set goals, set goals. It's really important that you set goals. Well, yes, it is important that you set goals and you have a why, but it has to be bigger than your why. Yes, my why is that I want to retire my husband, but that's not big enough. What do I want to? I want to leave a blueprint on this earth that will be able, when you're standing at my funeral, you'll say, you know, she did this, she did that. What do you want people to say about you? That's the true vision right there. What do you want people to say? And when you answer that question, you'll know, you'll have actually the begin in mind, and then you'll be able to create steps that will help you get towards that. Ladies, do any of you want to add anything to this right here, this portion right here? Either one of you?
I just think it's important, Rachel's Dietra, I just think it's so important to be true to yourself and be true to who you are, because then and only then will you be able to come to real conclusions and be able to move toward those goals. If you're looking at other people and trying to obtain what other people have, you're not that person. You need to just be true to yourself and be all right with yourself. And then when you ask yourself those questions, the real answers will come out, but don't rush. Take your time and think about it. That's what I find, is that so many things come into your mind when people say those questions to us. We just get flooded with so much, but you know, after half an hour or so, it may take you some time to think about these things, but I think being true and authentic to who you are makes all the difference in the world as to what your answers are and to how you'll know what direction to move in.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Deirdre. Did anybody else want to add to this before we move forward?
Yes, Rachel. Lakeisha here. I'm loving where this is like headed, this presentation or hangout tonight. This is one of the things that was definitely crucial to my success, having a vision. Because a lot of times, especially in network marketing businesses, if you've ever been to a meeting, they always paint for you this vision of what you can have, a six-figure income earner and stuff like that. And it's so important that you define your own success, because if not, and you're taking someone else's vision on, and if you don't achieve that, you feel like you failed. So it's so important that, like you said, you describe what your vision looks like, what your lifestyle, your business, all those different things is, and you write it down, because a lot of times we keep it in our head, and it's so important that you definitely write that stuff down. And that's one of the things that I definitely wanted to skip. A lot of times we want to skip that and get right to the blueprint and start making money, but this is like where the building of a solid foundation for your business for long-term success starts at. So I'm loving this, and let's continue crushing it out.
Thank you very much, Lakeisha. Appreciate you jumping in and sharing your thoughts. So in this, after you finish answering all those questions, what's going to happen is you're going to come up with your ideal day. What do you want your day to look like? What does that actually look like to you? Close your eyes for a minute and just envision yourself. What do you want to do in the morning? When I get up in the morning, I want to call my virtual assistant and just give them a list of things to do, right? And I want to write my book. And those are what do I love? That is your ideal. What is your ideal? What ideal day? What does that look like? Have you hired someone to do your listings for you? Have you hired someone to go find your items for you? What have you done? What does your ideal day look like? Because it's not until you see it in your eyes, literally vision, that it will happen for you. So some of the things, some tips that I want to share with you to help you come up with your ideal day and to help you with actually seeing that happen is, looking at, what time you wake up in the morning. And then after you look at, I asked the question the other day, are you an early riser, you're a late nighter. Do you want to be an early riser? See yourself where it's at. Maybe you have a full-time job and you're working 9 to 5, and then you come home and you're working this business, but you don't want that. You want to just be able to just work your business. Well, it's not going to happen first until you see yourself doing that. And then another a time management tip that will help you a lot, because for me, like many of you are moms or parents maybe, and you're trying to balance your day. You're trying to figure out, how do I do all of this? There's so many responsibilities. I have what you call a productivity chart, and I look at my most productive time. When am I most productive? Am I really like tired and lagging in the morning, or am I more productive at night? So whatever time you're more productive, that's the best time for you. Whatever time works for me may not be good for you. So find the time that is most productive for you. And what you could do is split your day up into like 4 segments. Like, there's like, the morning, which could be like 8 to noon, or, it just depends on you. And then it'll be noon to 3 or 4, and, 4 to 8, and then 8 to midnight. Split that up and designate how, where, what, and with whom you will spend the day with, filling in each one of those spots. Next thing is visualize and get clear on the life that you want. And I think I mentioned that a little bit earlier, but you just want to really get clear on the life that you want, not the one that you have. Many of us have been in a situation for so long, we've been in a certain place for so long, we can't even see ourselves out of that situation. So right here is really, really important that you do that. Write down a positive intention. Those of you who have read Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill calls it major definite purpose. You want to have a positive intention. What is it that you want to accomplish? And we'll talk a little bit about that on the next slide. And the last thing is I am affirmations. I am successful. I am worthy. I am creative. I'm healthy. I'm giving. I'm amazing. I'm confident. I'm consistent. I'm focused. It's really, really important that you use those I am statements every single day. Ladies, either one of you want to come out? Maybe those who haven't shared anything yet want to come out and share your thoughts on what we just covered here?
Hey, Rachel.
Yes.
Hey, it's Becky. I'd like to come out and talk about my ideal day, because I'm very busy, as you can imagine. And so what I do is I have an old-fashioned calendar, one that I actually can write in, and I color code it. So the first thing I do every morning is I wake up and I spend time with God, and then the boys and my husband get up, and so of course I get ready and go to work and school, etc. But so I have yellow is for when I'm at my job, so my work. I have pink scheduled in, and that's like romantic, so that's when I spend time with my husband. And I have B, which blue for family, and then I have green, which is scheduled in for money. And that may mean, work in my DS Domination business. Sometimes I have team members from all over the world, and when I'm driving to work, it's a good time that they can talk. Sometimes when I'm going to bed, it's a good time that they can talk. So, even 5 to 10 minutes, whenever I can fit into the nooks and crannies, I speak with my team members, whether they're in, Russia or Cyprus or Australia. It's just fun to connect with people all over the world too. And then the last one, those I am affirmations, that is so important. Self-talk is very important, and I posted on my Facebook wall. I'm actually sick, and so I have a cough drop paper here, and on Hall's really got the memo on self-talk. They wrote on each of their wrappers little slogans like seize the day, buckle down and push forward, a pep talk in every drop, be unstoppable. And I just think this is so good, and if you look for the positive everywhere and in everything, you'll always find it.
Wow, Becky, that was really powerful. Thank you very much for sharing it. And what better person to share with us, the segmenting of your day, the colors, the times, because I do the same thing. I love, being able to just take a highlighter and highlight, this part of my day. Mine is green as well. And, I didn't think about the pink for love. I like that. So I have to change my orange to pink. But thank you very much for sharing that, and along with the affirmations. Anyone else want to share before we move forward? Okay, we're going to go ahead and go to the next slide. Okay, setting SMART goals. When you're setting a goal, you want to make sure that it's specific, Who, what, when, where, and why. You know, who is it you're talking about? What, when, where, and why. And an example is, you know, if some people will say, you know, I want to make extra money. Well, that's not specific enough. You really, really want to get specific. We talked about using the word I am. I am making 25K on March the 4th, 2015, listing 10 items a day on eBay. Okay, whatever your I am is, whatever your specific goal is, you want to make sure you're really, really specific it, because the more specific it is, the more that it's going to happen for you. You want to make sure it's measurable. You know, you want to ask the question how, you know, how many, how much, and you know, how I know, you know, how do I know that it's happening? Attainable, that it doesn't seem far away, that it's something really, really close. So we talked about beginning with the end in mind. So if you want to make $100,000 a year, it's really important that you break that up into segments. So there's 4 quarters in a year. So let's break that up. Instead of, you know, reaching out to 100,000, which can seem sometimes big and discouraging, you know, look at 90-day increments. So for the next 90 days, I'm going to do X, Y, Z. That's how I was able to come up with the March 4th, because, you know, it's not so far out where, you know, most people get discouraged. Most people say, you know, that goal is too far away. I can't reach that goal. So you want to make sure that it's attainable and it's realistic. You know, you are willing and able to do it. So if you said $100,000, you know, that might play in your mind. How am I going to get that many people? How am I going to sell that much stuff? When you break it down into smaller segments of a goal, the chances of you winning it are so much higher. And the last thing is timely. That is grounded within a time frame, and we discussed that here. Anyone want to jump in on that portion right there? Did I hear someone come out?
It's Becky again. I have something to say if no one else does.
Okay, Becky, come out.
Okay, as far as goals go, I like to set what we call BHAGs, which is a big, hairy, audacious goal. And I remember when I first started, and Keisha and Pam were holding a boot camp, if you will, about goals, and their theme was 10K in 90 days. And so I was like, oh gosh, you know, that's crazy. There's no way that people can earn $10,000 in 90 days. And here I only had like 2 things listed on eBay. But I did what they said, and you know, they said put 2 videos a day on, put a video a day on YouTube, and I did that. And so, you know, imperfect action, to quote Keisha Bass, is so important. And also, my 2015 goal is to have 200 new team members on my team by the end of the year, and it's like, wow, 200 people. But I broke it down, and so 200 new team members is 16 new team members a month, and that's 4 a week. And so far this week I already have 4 new team members, so I'm right on track for reaching my goals. And it's important to measure your goals too. You want to have an end date, but you want to stay on track on measuring them too.
Thank you very much, Becky. I like that. Big, hairy goals. Okay, let's move forward. Okay, so some productive tips. We're going to give you some productivity tips, and I think that mostly everyone on here will be able to share and help you with coming up with some ideas to help you be more productive in your day. One of the things that I'm really on right now is declutter. You know, most people don't even realize how powerful that is. You know, when you have so much clutter, you have it in your car, you have it in your house, you have it everywhere you go, you have it in your closet, you know, you have it on your desk, it's everywhere. You can't think for one thing, and it blocks you from creativity, it blocks you from, you know, taking more action steps. It's just a big blocker. So one of the things that I highly recommend is decluttering. It will make all the difference in the world for you. Like right now, I went through over the weekend, the holiday, and I just cleared out everything. I still have some things to go, but not anything like it was. I just started throwing things away. And what's going to happen is once you do that, you're going to free your mind up. You're going to find that, you know, all these ideas that you have, you know, you'll be able to take the next step. You'll be able to do the next thing where, you know, before you found that you were being held back. You found before that you weren't taking the action steps that you needed, but it's because of the clutter in your life. So I really, really want to encourage you to declutter your life, whatever that means, wherever it's at. You know, if it's some, you know, unforgiving relations, it can be anything. You know, there are so many things that causes clutter in our life, but it's really, really important that you declutter. I talked about a productivity time chart. You know, looking at the time of day when you are productive, because at that time you're going to put out more work. You're going to do more IPAs, income producing activities. So once you identify that time, now you can set that time aside, and you can let if you have a family, you can let them know, hey, this is my working time. You know, I need for you all to give me a couple hours to get this done, and then I'll come back and I'll spend some time with you. A work schedule. A work schedule is also just as important, as Becky mentioned earlier. You know, filling out the times a day that, you know, the things that you do. They're kind of different. A productivity time chart is like a pie chart. And what it does is it separates a single hour of the day. And then you take a highlighter and you kind of color in the time that you're productive. But the work schedule is kind of different, because you're just kind of like take that information that you got from the productivity chart and fill it in on your schedule. And this is another one, outsourcing. I know Jen probably can share more about the outsourcing piece, but you know, like outsource the things that you don't like doing. You know, in your business, there are going to be some things that you like doing. There's some things that you don't like. You know, in our homes, you know, there may be something, maybe you don't like shoveling snow. You know, maybe that's taking up all your time. So now you pay somebody else to do that for you. That's outsourcing. And, you know, as far as life is concerned, and you can also do that in your business. To-do list. You know, you want to create a to-do list the night before. And then when you get up the next morning, okay, I need to do X, Y, and Z. And again, I say the things you love, because the things that you don't love, those are the things that you can either ditch them, you know, or give them over to someone else and have them do the work for you. The rule of 5. The rule of 5 says do 5 things that you must absolutely do if you do nothing else today. Sometimes, especially us women, you know, our lists are really, really long. And we're like, how am I going to accomplish all of this today? Well, if you prioritize and you say, okay, I'm going to do these top 5 things, if nothing else. And if I get these top 5 things done, I will feel accomplished. And don't forget to, and I didn't write this down, don't forget to reward yourself after you do it. You know, that's so important that you reward yourself. And then make sure you're doing high producing activities. Like, you don't want to do the activities that don't produce the results that you want. So you really, really want to focus on those activities that are giving you the most bang for your buck, if you want to say. Ladies, anybody want to come out and share on that slide?
Yeah, I want to jump out on that. When you talk about the decluttering, that really tunes into, you know, focus, because I don't know how many of you noticed, but we suck at multitasking. And I also don't know how many of you know this, but you cannot, it is absolutely impossible to focus on more than one thing at a time. If you're trying to focus on 2 things at once, it's impossible. Your mind just jumps back and forth between the 2. So if you are trying to multitask with lots of different activities, then you end up getting nothing done. So that decluttering is huge. Not only decluttering physical things around you in your environment, but decluttering your to-do list, decluttering your work schedule, making sure that you're focusing in on the things that you know that you can accomplish. When you talk about the to-do list, you want to think about what the end of that to-do list would look like, and then work backwards to figure out what action steps you need to do on the to-do list to get to that end result. One of the twists that I have thought that works for me is, you know, Rachel said, make sure you do things you love. Absolutely, you want to do that. One of the things that I do also is that during my most productive time, I do some of the things that, number one, I choose not to outsource, but I don't necessarily like, or it's harder, because I'm most productive and I can be most focused. If I can get those things that I don't like to do so much, or that I can't get outsourced right away when I'm most productive, then when I'm getting to the things that I love to do, I don't have to be as focused, because I like to do it. And when you like to do something, it just comes easier to you. So that's kind of a twist that you can think about, is organizing your to-do list, number one, with the end in mind, and then working backwards from what that end is. So let's say you want to do a video on YouTube. You need to know what the information is going to be, and then you work backwards to figure out how you're going to get all the information in order to get the training done on the YouTube video. Okay, just an example. So just work backwards from what your to-do list says, and make it don't be so broad and so big that you won't be able to accomplish something. And then after you go through your to-do list at the end of the day, look at what you accomplished, and then if you need to change anything for the next day, then you can do that, and that way you could be a little bit more productive. You always want to be evaluating what you're doing and making sure that you're getting the outcomes that you're wanting to get. And if you're not, change it up so you do.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Angie. Great tips.
Hey, Rachel, can I jump in there?
Yes, you sure can.
Hey, one of the tips that I would definitely give, especially because a lot of us are so connected to social media, is also, turning off your notifications and, things of that sort during certain times of the days when you're focusing on those activities that you need to get done. And this also comes back to, like what Deetra said, knowing yourself. Me personally, I know work schedules do not work for me, so I love to-do lists. I write down, the week. I'll write down what I need to do for the week, and then kind of like break that down into what I need to do daily to reach my goals and stuff. And I work best from that way because I'm so used to shooting from the hip. So it's so hard for me to stick to say I need to do this from 8 to 12 and I need to do this. So I focus more so on getting it done, because if not, then I overwhelm myself. And I know me personally, I don't operate like that. I actually shut down when I feel like I have too much on my plate. So it's so easy for me to look at my to-do list and be able to check stuff off, and then also rewarding myself for when I do accomplish, whatever goals it is, even if it's, just going out for a movie or, maybe even, taking the kids to go have some dollar Sundays or something like that. So, things of that sort too, because I try to include the family in as well on what it is that I'm doing. So we all, reap those rewards, and they see, the hard work that I'm putting in that's paying off. So that's, my tip what I would give, especially with social media and emails. How many times we check our emails and our messages and stuff throughout the day. Don't make yourself sometimes so available. And, it goes back, I guess, to setting like working hours or so when you're available to answer questions and check messages and make new connections. So that's, that's my 2 cents.
Awesome. Those are great tips, Letitia, and I agree. Because I go, I bounce back and forth to, my planner, but I want to make sure my planner is there, because if I have ever audited, I have something to show that I am working. But I definitely love the to-do list as well. And actually, I've learned something new this weekend that I've been implementing, and it has been absolutely amazing. How I did was just like a little index box, or actually it's a big index box, and I have like the months in there, and then day 1 through 31. And then I have every activity that I want to accomplish. And at night, what I do is I go through, the cards, because I have like labeled them, like, if it's like paid marketing, free marketing, and I'll have like free like videos or whatever I'm going to do. And then what I do is I segment them off. Like maybe today I might not want to do a video, which I highly recommend videos every day. But with my voice being the way that it has been, I'm not too keen on doing videos right now. But whatever that thing is that I want to accomplish, I just kind of stick it in that day. So I'm not having the overwhelm. I have my rule of 5. I have 5 things I definitely must get done. And the rest of them I put back on to the card for tomorrow, 5, 6. And so again, I'm not so constricted to that appointment book or that calendar. So definitely a great idea that you share with us today.
I love that idea with the index cards.
I love it. I love it. It's so much fun. I have to do a video on that one. But anyone else? I was hoping that Jen could come out and share some tips on outsourcing. That but I see that she's hiding behind, so she may be pulled away for a minute. Deirdre, did you want to come out? Because I saw you moving around.
Yeah, I was making sure my computer didn't lose charge. This is really a great hangout tonight. I too am a big fan of the to-do list because my priorities are ever changing. But just like the 5 items that have to get done each day, that is the most important thing that I use, because if nothing else gets done, those things have to get done. Because again, when you're operating with children in school, you can get a call from the school at any time, as you well know. Your whole day can be shifted. But if you block yourself, if I block myself into blocks of time and I don't accomplish that, I do feel like a failure because I didn't stay within this line and that line. And so I need the flexibility. And as long as I have the top 5, you know, as long as I can accomplish those, I still feel accomplished, and I don't beat myself up because those other things can wait. So that really has helped me a whole lot in streamlining exactly what must get done in one day. I can juggle it as much as I need to, but these have got to be done. That's very helpful to me. That's what I've been using.
Yeah, I love that. It's been really powerful for me too. And I feel so accomplished at the end of the day. Like sometimes I think that I'm supposed to do it in the daytime, but when I look at it, I'm like, hey, I can just do this right now, and it's like 10 o'clock at night. So it really is a powerful technique to implement into your life and your business. Hey, Jen, can you come out for a minute and share maybe a tip or two with us on outsourcing possibly?
Hey, Rachel, sure. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you fine. Thank you.
All right. So in terms of outsourcing, you know, you're probably outsourcing already, things that either you don't have the skills to do or you don't want to do. Like maybe you pay someone to change your oil, or maybe you have someone do your dry cleaning, or it depends on your life situation, but you're probably paying someone to do something for you, right? So outsourcing is just a way of doing that in your business without having to take on the cost of hiring a full-time employee, which requires benefits and all those things. So there are people who are actually eager and willing to work for $2 to $3 an hour, sometimes more, but you can start around that level, and that's a great living wage for them. So you know, I teach a lot more about that, but it's important to look at what you're doing and determine, do I personally need to be doing this in my business? And if you don't have the time to be doing it, or your time could be better spent doing something else that creates more revenue, then you should really consider outsourcing that. And there are lots of ways to do that. So is that helpful, Rachel?
Yes, absolutely. And Jen, I'm not sure, are you still going to be doing some teaching on outsourcing at the event?
I'm not sure. I think
Okay.
so. I think I'm scheduled.
Yeah, well, we want to encourage those of you who have not gotten your tickets to the event. You're going to get more nuggets like this. This is just a tip of the iceberg of what we're going to be bringing to you. So if you haven't gotten your tickets, make sure you get those, and we'll share more with how you can do that at the end of the hangout. The next thing we want to share with you is a daily routine to follow. And again, we kind of talked about this, writing down your to-do list. And if you are a person that do not like to follow like strict schedules, these are just some things that you can actually put on there. Some things that, you know, in the industry, I've studied multiple six-figure income earners probably for the last 3 years. And these are some things that they do all the time. And definitely if they're doing them, then it's highly encouraged that you do them. And I'm sure, you know, some of them you may be doing and some of them you may be working towards, but the important part is that you're forever working towards them. You know, many have fallen many times, but you're not a failure until you totally, you know, fall and don't get up. So definitely these are some of the things that I suggest, and I'm sure the ladies on the panel are going to have some others. Personal development mindset. When I started working on my mindset, when I started working on the way that I thought about everything began to change for me. As long as I was in that rut-stuck mindset, then I couldn't go so far. I was, you know, it was like always beating myself up. You know, I can't do this. I don't know how to do that. And when I began to change the way that I think, everything changed for me. And a powerful technique that you can use on mindset or personal development is, they call it the rule of 30. I don't know. I only do like 20, but mine's is 20-minute audio, 20 minutes of reading that I do and listening. I do that every day, and it has been powerful for me. So that's one thing, making sure that when you get up in the morning, I have like a long list. And you know, one of the things I used to always ask people, like, how long do you spend on personal development? And the things that they would tell me they were doing, I'm thinking, oh, they must spend like at least an hour or two on personal development. And I'm like, I can't do that. I don't have time for that. That was my thinking. But then I realized the power of personal development, the power of working on my mind. And when I did that, not only did it help me to accomplish more, but it helped me to be able to go through more. So when a situation came up in my life, I was able to withstand the storm, withstand what was coming my way because of the way that I thought. So one of the things that I highly, highly recommend that you work on yourself. They actually say it's 80% of working on you and 20% of the business is when you actually see success. Another thing is exercise. I'm not really a big exerciser, but what I found is that doing things, as long as I'm active, as long as I'm not sitting behind the computer and I'm burning calories, I'm okay. That may mean running up and down the stairs doing laundry. That may mean going for a walk around the block. You don't necessarily have to go to a gym, which, I mean, that's where I'm headed. I'll tell you guys that story another day. But exercising, some type of exercise. And something I was reading the other day, which I thought was really interesting. Like you can even have one of those stabilized bikes at your house and just get on that, and you're going to burn some calories. Now they did recommend dancing. Now if it's some dancing, I'll do that all night long. So that could be an exercise also. Another thing is, you want to make sure when you are looking at your income producing activities, I forgot who mentioned it, but you're not just getting on Facebook the first thing. If you're doing Facebook marketing, which means you're connecting with people to bring them into your business, yes, that's understandable if you're going to use that as a form of marketing. But if you're not using that as a form of marketing, you're just getting on there liking, comment, sharing videos and things of that nature, that's not going to get you the income that you desire. You want to make sure that you're working on your income producing activities first. And so most of you we're all in the same company. And with that being the case, it's going to be something like listing on eBay or Amazon, making sure you're getting your items up so that income can be coming in. And then some of the other things are going to be marketing daily, free and paid. If you don't have resources for paid, then start out with the free, and eventually you can move to the paid. Another thing is attending events, and whether those events are, events that your team or your company puts on, or if they are events, once a year, 3 or 4 times a year, it's really, really important that you attend events. The people that you talk to that are successful, they're the ones that attend events. So really, really want to kind of push that home. Make sure you're attending the events. If there's a training coming out, do everything you can to get on that training. If you can't make it there, go listen to the recording. That's going to be really, really important for you. Last one is plan the next day. So at the end of the night before you lay down your head, you want to make sure that you are planning the next day. And so you can have an idea, again, our subconscious mind is working while we sleep. So you have an opportunity actually to process that, and you get up in the morning. Visualization is something else that I do quite a bit. Visualizing myself getting that thing accomplished. Ladies, you want to add anything to that?
I do, yeah. I agree with all of those things, and you will not read about anyone or study anyone who's successful that doesn't ascribe to these things. You have to learn to work harder on yourself than you do at your job, or harder on yourself than you do at parenting. You have to learn to work harder at being a better person, and it is connected to everything else you do. So that's absolutely true. One of the things I'm reading right now is called E2 by Pam Grout. I highly suggest that. She talks about the full potential, and I see that as God. And it's a very good book. The other one I'm reading right now is Money Master the Game by Tony Robbins. Highly recommend anything that Tony Robbins does. Something else I want to say too about events is, there is no other time that you will be surrounded by other people who are all focused on the same thing, the same goals, not the specific goal, but the overall goal of personal development, of financial success, of marital success, of whatever kind of success you think about. You will be in the same place with the people that have the same goals and focus. There's no other time, when we're at home and we're online and, we're all kind of doing our life, but when we take the time out to go to an event to focus solely on your business, it puts us way ahead others who don't go to events. And if people are saying that they don't have to go to events to be successful, then they're not the most successful people in the business. They're just not. Something else about the event we have coming up in Atlanta is that one of the things I'll be teaching is a backwards blueprint to success, and it's going to give you an actionable plan that you can leave with to go out and be successful. So you are going to learn and hear things that will change everything for you in a moment at the events, at any event. So I highly recommend attendance at events. It will change everything for you.
Yeah, Angie, I'm a big events on everything. Even on my marriage, I go to conferences and things of that nature, even to be a better parent, be a better wife. I'm at an event every time you get to, you can always learn from somebody else. And I found that they have helped me in every area of my life as well. So definitely some great points that you have shared there. We're almost finished here. We're going to go to some extra bonuses. It's really important that you be grateful. Be grateful for no matter where you're at, no matter what's going on in your life. You want to make sure that you have the attitude of gratitude. When you wake up in the morning, everything else can be bad, but I want you to find one thing that is good, one thing that you can focus on and say, I am grateful for today. There's really a lot of power in the word of being grateful. The other one is the power of I am statements. I mentioned it earlier, but I really don't. I want you to get the importance of using those statements, because they are life-changing statements. And if you can adopt that into your life, you're going to watch your entire life change. So find some I am statements, some things that you want to speak into your life that you are. I want you also to, we talk about how you're spending your time. Go clean out your email box. 2015 is here. Go in that email box. If you got a lot of emails coming in, those people are not providing you value. They're just selling you. Go unsubscribe. Go delete their messages, because all that's doing is distracting you from your goal and your purpose. In most cases, a person's email box is someone else's agenda. You should be working on your agenda first. When you first get up and you start working, you should be working on your agenda first, right? This is the same thing with Facebook. If you go over to Facebook and you're looking down your feed and you see, a lot of garbage, things that are not important to you, things that do not bring you value, do not edify you, there's actually a little arrow on the top right-hand side. You can click on that arrow and you can stop getting notifications from that person. You just want to get really focused on the things that you want to accomplish in life. And if you're limited time, then you're going to have to find ways to get rid of distractions. And that's really important, that you find ways to get rid of distractions. And your email and Facebook or any social media site can be a distraction to you. And then the last thing I want to talk about is the key to focus and consistency. I used to wonder why I could not get focused. Why was I not consistent? And one of the things that I learned was that it's all based on your vision. The clearer you are with your vision, the clearer you will be on what you need to get done, where you need to go, what you should be doing, what you should not be doing. Because when I wake up in the morning, I see my life the way I want it to be. And that right there alone helps me to get focused and get clear. And I hear a lot of people say, I can't get focused, I can't get clear. I'm not consistent. But once you are clear on your vision, maybe we'll have a training on a vision, creating a vision board or something. But once you're clear on your vision, you will become focused and you'll be consistent, and you won't be distracted by so many things. A lot of us are in different groups and things of that nature. You must pick and choose what's more important to you and the things that are going to help you get to where you're going. Ladies, do you want to come out? Anybody want to come out on this?
I do. I wanted to just add, Rachel, before we end, because I know it's like 9 o'clock or so, is that, we've definitely shared a lot of information with you all tonight, but the most important thing is that you really take the information that we've shared and implement it, put some of it into action. One of the things that I love about being a part of Unit of Prosperity, our team, is that we have so many awesome leaders and, mentors within our group that we don't have to reinvent the wheel or anything. I don't know if you can see behind me, but, when you were saying, writing out your, your daily list and stuff, Reginald gave us a success blueprint, some months ago on, how he built his business. And it's like I didn't have to reinvent the wheel or anything like that. I just took, exactly what he said. Like you said, the whole spending time on personal development, 15 to 30 minutes, Facebook, how many times update your statuses, your blogging, your eBay, listing items on Amazon and stuff. And I wrote that down. So this is like a super huge, it's like a sticky note, right? Where I was able to see my success blue roadmap in front of me. And then I also took, snapshots of it, and I put it on, my computer also at work, so that I keep that stuff in front of me of what it is that I need to do. And, one of the things I will add is when you're building your business, if you're tracking, you're doing all the information that, all the steps that we've taught you, you're able to go back and see what worked for you and what didn't work for you. And this is what helps you be consistent, because if you're getting results, you keep doing the same things and you don't have to veer left or veer right. So whenever, just sitting down and just writing out what your roadmap, what your vision for your life and your business looks like for you, and really just sticking with it, and then also being open to listening to what the mentors tell you and not overthinking it. So, an event you're doing in Atlanta. We have another one that's coming up in February. Get to them. Whenever Reginald, Keisha, or anyone on our team is offering a boot camp or a challenge, get in them. That is what helped me really, spearhead and really make the income that I made within 90 days, is because who I was surrounded by and who I was listening to. So it's so important, that when we share this information, that you don't take it for granted. We've shared, I would say, $1 million nuggets, life-changing nuggets tonight, but the thing is really just taking all this information and implementing it. So my thing would be, when you get off this call, writing down what action steps can you take this week to make it happen, to move yourself forward, and really staying committed to doing it, and doing it. Even if you need to find an accountability partner or someone who's going to hold you accountable to say, what, hey, this is what I want to get done this week, and you get it done. And that's how you're going to, really go out there and hit your goals and stuff. So, all right. I wanted to be short, but I got excited for a minute.
That's okay, Lakeisha. Great nuggets. Wow. Anybody else want to add to that before we end our hangout?
Rachel, the only thing that I wanted to say is that, it's really important to find your method of operation, and it's okay if it's not the same as everyone else's. We are all very unique, and it is critical to our businesses and to our success. Again, being true to yourself, but finding out what works for you. The thing here is that there's so much offered. You can fire on all cylinders provided you find the way that works for you. So I just suggest that people be comfortable with what works for them, as long as they can get the goals accomplished and make progress, and they will arrive, with some success in hand if they just find their own method. There's so many ways. Pick and choose a few, because it's easy to be overwhelmed, but picking and choosing 3 to 5 ways to run your business in a way that works for you and your family is really crucial to your success. That's my recommendation.
Absolutely, I agree 100%, Deidre. Oftentimes what I found is people don't know. Can somebody mute out for me, please? I don't know what it is. But people don't have any idea of where to start. So what we're doing here is we're kind of giving you all a roadmap or blueprint of where to start. Really get clear on what you want, and then after you do that, whether you do a to-do list, whether you do a schedule, whichever one you do, whichever, as Deidre said, works best for you, you now have something that you can be consistent with and do it every day. And there are going to be distractions that come up. There are going to be things that are going to happen that are going to try to take you out of the game. But as long as you have your vision in front of you, you'll be able to bounce right back and take the necessary steps that you need in order to get to where you want to go. So the next step of action for you is to visualize what life that you want. Go and start decluttering the things that are, cluttering up your life, your mind. Write them down and start removing them out of your life. Plan your week, because as you plan your week, then you can break that down, as Lakeisha mentioned, into your day, like what you want to do that day in order to reach a goal for the week. Write your to-do list down for the next day so that you can have an idea. Like, if you don't have a plan and you get up in the morning, then you're planning to fail. If you haven't written anything down, if you have no idea what you're going to do when you get up, you're planning to fail. So it's really, really important that you have some type of idea of what you're going to do the next day. You want to prioritize your top 5 income producing activities. If this is, about income producing, some people, again, I mentioned about success, it could be your marriage is on, the brinks of, ending. So maybe your priority should be, doing what you can to make that work and to change things around in that environment. It's going to be something different. We have seasons in our life. One thing I've come to learn And in those seasons, we got to learn how to roll with them. But as long as you have a vision and a purpose before you, you'll easily just bounce right back into where you're supposed to be. Last but least, don't forget to register for the Fire Your Boss event, which is going to take place on February the 6th through the 8th. And you can go and get your tickets at uopevent.com. With that being said, I just want to thank the ladies who came out with us today to share their tips and their nuggets. And is there any questions before we go? Because one thing I don't want to do is, I know this is a little over an hour, but I want to make sure that there are not any questions, because many people have questions and they don't get them answered. Lady, do you see any questions that we want to make sure we get before we leave? Any questions? Well, somebody asked about the beauty. Go ahead. Who is that?
It's Deidre. I just wanted to say it's UOP Events, plural, UOPEvents.com to purchase your tickets.
Events with an S.
Uh-huh.
Thank you.
Sure.
Okay. So it looks like who's ready for the Fire Your Boss conference? We're definitely looking forward to seeing you all in February. It's going to be a phenomenal, phenomenal event. And I don't have anything else, ladies. If you don't have anything else, I don't see any questions in the feed. Just kind of, I know there's a delay. Can you go to the event if you're not a part of? Yes, Teresa, you can go to the event if you are not a part of DS Domination. Just go to that website we showed you, UOP Events with an S at the end, and grab your ticket. I don't see any other questions. Yeah, you probably can, Nick, but if you want to be on our team, you might. I would suggest you get back with the person who invited you. There is no other questions I don't see. Ladies, thank you very much. Thank you all for coming out and joining us today. We will see you. Does anybody know if we're having a hangout tomorrow? Are we back tomorrow for Unit of Prosperity? Angie shook her head yes. So I want to say we'll see you all tomorrow. Okay. See you all tomorrow, the Unit of Prosperity hangout call. Hangout at same time, same place. Well, actually not the same place. Get back with the person who invited you to this one, and you can come over and hang out with us again tomorrow on our Unit of Prosperity hangout. Take care, God bless, and we will see you all tomorrow. Bye for now.